Take it in, King. And now I need you guys to give a round of applause for Miss Angie Jones. Yes, Angie.
Y'all know I'm 4'11". Let me see if I can get up here. Lower it down, Angie. Pull the thing down. Pull the thing down. Now what now? I got the black one. Boom. You gotta put your butt down. Oh.
I think it's down.
Okay, I'm gonna just climb on up here. All right, hold my hand. Okay.
Good? You good?
All right.
All right, there we go.
Ooh, I just finished. Send me back.
So it's about to be a comedy. It's about to be a comedy.
How y'all doing? Shout out to y'all for staying till the bitter end. And I say bitter because I'm sad that it's ending.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is my mic on? Hello? All right.
A comedy.
All right. It's been a long week, huh? So, we have come to just about the end of RenderATL. If you had some fun, make some noise. If you've gotten some value out of the conference, make some noise. Dope. So Justin, the brainchild, the mastermind behind RenderATL, tell us, what made you start this?
So I began the conference with a vision around creating a dope place for software engineers to come, connect, and learn and grow with each other. I've been to many tech conferences all over the entire globe, and every conference I would go to, they would treat me like a unicorn just because I am a black. I even had comments like, I did not know black people could code just as well over here too. And I said, well, have you heard of the magical city of ATL? And I was like, no, of course not, I never heard of it. And they tested us with build it, and then maybe we'll come. And seeing this now being built is a real testimony, not just to my own self, but to the whole team that is here too. And I just want to give my team a automatic round of applause too, because they did a great job. But on that journey, I said, let's build a place that not just black software engineers could come and be who they are unapologetically, but also a brown, LGBTQIA+, people that aren't gender conforming at all, people that you would have never thought of that are awesome at their job. Let's build a place that you could come, be who you are, roll around on skates and whatnot at the conference. But that does not change how dope you are, and that you should be welcomed at any space you go to.
That's amazing. I saw the skater lady going around. I thought that was dope, right?
Thanks.
Like, no one is looking at you like you're odd or you're weird. Like, everyone is just able to come and be themselves. And I think that's really dope. So, Justin, I remember you telling me, like, back in the day before Render was actually born, that you had an idea and you wanted to throw this conference, and this was pre-pandemic, right?
Pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, and you had really high hopes. Tell me what you envisioned for this, because every year this conference is a little bit different, a little bit better. What did you envision?
I envision what I do now, looking into the crowd, seeing people wearing Cuban link gold chains, people from all different kinds of skin colors, all different kind of backgrounds, having the best skill sets possible, and being able to go here, learn in the day, but go and connect at night. Being able to show up unapologetically who they are, but learn from the people that usually don't even come to North America to come speak about the best and the latest great tech topics possible.
You mentioned Atlanta a little bit earlier. What makes this city so unique? Why was this the perfect place to throw Render?
The thing that makes Atlanta so unique is that we have such a plethora of talent everywhere that nobody thinks about how many schools, let alone HBCUs, we have right here in ATL. Morehouse, Spelman, Clark Atlanta, Morris Brown. We have Georgia Tech here. We have so many schools here that you could easily hop and skip to, that the talent here is really untouched, and that the talent does not look the same at all. They're talented individuals, but nobody thinks about coming to the South to recruit.
That's true. We see that across the board. We definitely see that where people seem to pretend, I don't know if they're pretending, maybe they truly believe that they can't really find diverse talent.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think what you've proven is that we're out here.
Right, and we're out here in droves.
Droves.
Like, I heard a quote at the conference, which was, "I can't find my head of engineering." And I said, "Oh, well, how can I help you?" And then the lady looked at me and said, "No, I can't find my head of engineering because he's a white man in this crowd right here, and he's nowhere to be found at all." I said, "That's wild to me. That's very wild." And then she said, "But you know what, though? I could find all the best black tech talent here in one place." And that speaks volumes that people come to this conference and that they have a great time and they continue to come back.
Yeah. Every year the conference gets bigger, it gets better. This is the third edition of Render. I imagine that you have learned a lot of lessons.
Oh, God. Shit.
Along the way. Conference organizing is not easy, especially at the scale that you're doing this at.
It's hard.
Yeah. Tell me maybe, the biggest lesson that you've learned along the way.
The biggest lesson I've learned while organizing a conference is to be an organizer, you gotta be organized, which sounds crazy, right? But you gotta be so meticulous, not just with the conference, but with your own schedule too, and your own life happenings. Like, I kid you not, even though I'm a senior engineer and I have tons of meetings each and every day, I did not believe in calendars at all. I would honestly write things down on a Post-it note and hope to God shit got done. Well, now it's changed now. I honestly live and die by my calendar. And if it's not on my calendar, it ain't happening at all. But also, that's translated into my personal life too, where now I'm able to keep up with things, easy things, such as even paying bills on time too. Makes it so much easier. But the other biggest thing that I've also learned is that you have to be okay with being uneasy, because nothing will go as planned. You'll always have a concept in your head. You'll always think, oh, only if it happens like this and it happens like that, it'll go perfectly as planned. But that never happens. Such as when y'all all got here, how crazy the lines were. Hindsight is 20/20, Of course, hindsight is there's only two doors for people to come into. The line's gonna be horrible. At the time, I'm thinking, oh, this is great. They're gonna come in, they're gonna go through these little zigzags, they're gonna get wanded down, they're gonna feel safe, and they're gonna get their badge printed on time, and they're gonna be good to go. Did not work like that at all, So it's all about being okay with the uneasiness, because I could have clammed up. But not just me, but my team, we said, okay, how do we troubleshoot this? How do we iterate? How do we pivot quickly to get everything done on time?
And that's one thing I'll give you all credit for, is being able to adapt, taking feedback. I've seen the team fix things in real time. I'm not gonna give examples, but multiple things.
Oh no, I got a good one. Last year, TGS 2022, raise your hand if you came to the 2022 conference. Oh, wow, a good amount of people here did. All right, y'all remember how hot as hell it was outside? I don't know how we pulled it off. Shout out to my head of operations, Casey.
Y'all, I
Put
don't
your hand
even
up.
sweat,
All right.
and I was like drenched.
I don't know how, we had went out and got 1,000 fans instantly in an hour. Like the kinds that take batteries in them. And you could put like water in them. Don't know how we pulled that off. But I mean, people were so happy, they were so appreciative. But again, that taught me that if you have a good team, which I do, you can make anything happen.
Yep. So kudos to the team. Kudos to you. I really love that. You know, some people are stuck in their ways. It is what it is. We'll think about it next year. But the team really receives feedback well, and then does something about it, right? And every year I see it getting better and better. So next year, what does it look like? The future of Render. What do you have plans? How do you get even better than this? Because we are all impressed.
So even though I do have a big head, I'm still trying to figure out up there what to do next. But one thing that I have heard many requests for was I want to see more hands-on technical workshops. People absolutely loved day one, where you could be hands-on, deep dive, 3 hours at a time, 5 hours at a time, 8 hours at a time. How do we make that even better beyond what's being offered in the conference world currently? So that's one thing that you're going to see happen is more of a technical deep dive session, focus on not just engineering, but a lot of people that are in a graphic artists too were hitting me up like, yo, I really want to get into that Dan Mall talk or that Dan Mall workshop. How do we have more of that happen? Because I need to be a better person at Adobe. How do we make that happen? So that's one thing that you're going to see happen in 2024.
Okay. So speaking of 2024, we don't want to be on the outside looking in with FOMO, right, y'all? Right. So when is it? We need to save up our duckies so we can make sure that we're in the building. We need to tell our cousins and our friends to make sure they're in the building so they can stop hitting us up crying about it. When is it?
All right. RenderATL 2024, you're hearing it here first. The dates are June 12th through the 14th, 2024. We will be bleeding into June 18th, 2024.
So y'all heard it, June 12th through the 14th. Go ahead and mark your calendars.
Block off the whole week.
Block off the week.
We're doing a lot more next year.
Tell your friends that's not the date to get married because you got to be
my
at
God.
Render. All right? You gave them a year in advance, right? Go ahead, take off work and all of that too. All right. So Justin, when this is all said and done, right, and you look back, what would you want Render's story to be? What do you want us to say about that RenderATL conference?
I think it could be summed up in a quote what I would like for people to say about the conference. And the quote came from a young lady that I had met earlier today who came to me in the hallway crying, telling me, this is the first time I could wear hoop earrings around my coworkers and I don't feel judged. I found that like, wow, that's very powerful to say that you usually have to hide who you are around your colleagues. But now that you feel like you have the position of a power, you could be who you are. So I think, or I'm gonna say I think, I know what I want it to be, which is RenderATL is the place that I could come to and be who I am, do what I want to do, and go back and have a dope as hell job.
Love it. You know, I look at Render and I see people And I've watched you on this journey, so I'm looking with a different eye, right? Like, I'm having fun, I'm kicking it, I'm taking selfies and everything, but I'm also kind of taking it all in. And, oh, Lord, I hope I don't get emotional up here, child. Y'all know I'm a thug. But, yeah, just seeing people just look free. You know what I mean? Like, walking down the halls, like, you are in a space that feels comfortable, it feels familiar, you know? You spoke about how you travel all over the world to different conferences, you know, same thing here. And it's something that we just don't feel, like you're mistaken for the help or, you know, somebody's wife or something like that, right? I've had all of that happen to me. But here, you know, I walk these halls and I see everyone, like whether you're black or not, everyone just really feels included. And I think a lot of that comes from, y'all ever heard someone say, if you build for the most vulnerable, the most underrepresented, then it's kind of inclusive of everyone as it grows and as it expands. And that's what I see Render as a testament of, right? Seeing like so many diverse speakers on stage, not just on stage, right? They're not like a token at a conference, right? Oh, we need a black picture in the lineup, y'all. It's not that at all. Like, folks are literally killing it on stage. Like, some of the best talks I have seen have been at Render from people who are underestimated in the larger tech landscape. So kudos.
Thank you.
I think that's brilliant, it's powerful. You're making a huge impact on the culture, and we love you for that.
And I just want to say, this would also not be possible if people from the culture didn't also buy in. I mean, I honestly look in this crowd, and I see people like my guy, Charles right here, great guy. He's of the culture, did an awesome party at the partnership, R&B house party. Things like that where people from the culture buy into you makes you want it to be even more inclusive. Even the small things like having closed captionings on all the screens. People... I seen a tweet earlier today that was like, I can't believe that a conference actually spent the cash to put up closed captionings. And I was just thinking, well, it would be crazy.
5 stages.
Right, on 5. And I was just thinking, well, it would be crazy for us to spend money on everything else, like this huge LED wall. But then when we get to the part where we got to think about everybody else, we say, nah, you know, it's okay. You know? So the culture and building for people like you talked about that are the most vulnerable will always make you a win.
Yeah, for sure. I think about me growing up in the tech industry, and it was 12 years into my career before I ever coded with another black woman.
Really? 12 years.
And I want you to think about like what that does to your psyche, right? You just have a feeling that you do not belong here. That like you're the unicorn, like you said, that you know, you snuck in through some door or something, and any moment they're gonna kick me out of here. You know? But I look around and I see like people networking and making connections, and I want you all to promise me that when you leave here, that you're gonna utilize these connections you've made here today. I want you to keep them close. Like, we have to be each other's village. There's not a lot of us when we go back home, right? When you go back to work, when you're on your Zoom call, when you're in that conference meeting, you might be the only one. But I want you to remember back on your experience at Render and know that you are not alone, that we're out here thriving, not just surviving, right? And check on one another. Hit each other up. How you doing, girl? You all right, brother? You know? and be that ear for people. If you learn of opportunities, let's share them amongst ourselves and just kind of help lift each other up. Y'all promise?
So I have to ask you, what has been your highlight of this entire week?
Oh man, it's so much. Y'all know how you get a good meal, right? Let's say, sorry to the vegans, but let's say we got like a steak or something, right? Like, even though the steak might be juicy, it's prepared just like you like it, got that little char on it, you know what I'm talking about. That's not all you want. You want little side dishes with it, right? You want a little tea or something, a little lemonade, you know what I'm saying? You want the full meal, and I feel like that was the highlight for me. I got the full meal. Like, tech is the steak. That's what we come here for. That's the centerpiece of it all. I got that. It was busting. But then I also got like the side dish, like a little side of culture here, a little party here. I don't stay out too late, but you know, I came out, gave y'all a little heel one night, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like I got the whole meal here, where I don't get that, you know, in other spaces. And so it just warmed my heart. I feel so fulfilled. The talks, my God, I just can't stop bragging about it. If y'all go on my Twitter, I'm like taking everybody's picture while they're speaking and posting, and I really mean that. Like, y'all really killed it. Give it up for the speakers, please. Like, I got into speaking because I would go to conferences as an attendee, and like, there's literally no black speakers. Like, there just wasn't. When I first started going to conferences, I was like, you know, one day I'm gonna get up there, you know? You know, and I just feel like now y'all are everywhere, and it just really warms my heart. Y'all don't know, I was in there like proud auntie watching y'all get your talks and stuff. Like, it was really dope. So, you know, kudos again to the team for making this experience available for us, accessible, and we can't wait to do it again next year.
Same here. But I am gonna need a nice a break after this. I'm not gonna lie.
Please take a break, Justin. Everybody say, Justin, take a break. I asked him if he was taking vacation, like, that's not it. So we gotta, you know, recharge, you know, we don't want you to burn out. So definitely take some time for yourself, the team, y'all take some time. Y'all been working hard. I've seen y'all like running around and stuff. So I hope y'all felt me sending y'all good vibes and stuff, but y'all really did a great job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, any parting words, Justin?
I think the parting word, oh, that's a dope graphic. Shout out to you, Alexis. Where Alexis at? Shout out to Alexis in the back somewhere. She around. That is dope. Parting words are like what Angie just talked about. Please make sure you go home and you share and keep in touch with everybody that you talk to. Well, apologies, not everybody, because that's impossible, all right? But keep in touch with at least 3 people that you talk to this entire week, because you don't ever know where that person that you just met could help you, or you could help them grow to be the next potential. I had met a young man earlier today from AWS, and he shook my hand and he said, "You gave me a scholarship in 2022. I came here, I met AWS, and I'm now here full time." So you don't ever know. You don't ever know whose life you could be making an impact on just by answering the phone, sending that text message, or just honestly doing the smallest gesture, which is just saying hi. So please make it a point to say hi to at least 3 people after the conference, and come again and join us in June 2024. Tickets go on sale soon.
All right. Thank y'all.